Hello folks, what's the crack? Welcome back to another episode of Meet the Members, where we have the chance to get to know some of our beautiful, exquisite, incredible, smart, intelligent, any other fancy adjectives you can throw Ormeau Baths members. We're here today with Ged Parker. Jed, what's up?
Parker?
Is it not Parker?
No.
Ah!
No, keep it going.
I have to redo this. What is your last name?
Armstrong?
What the heck?
Yeah.
I have you even on the thing as Ged Parker.
I saw that. I was like,
Really see, look.
Parker?
Really see, bro. Ged Parker. Oh, I know who Ged Parker is. I know a Ged Parker. That's exactly what I've done. Look at this, Ged Parker.
I like that better than Armstrong, to be honest.
Ged Armstrong. Wow.
That was funny.
Incredible. So I was actually talking about you the other day, and have you ever heard the story of the gold rush on the west coast of America, like
No.
way back when? So I don't know where I heard this. It was probably like on a business podcast or something, and the guy was making the point that like everyone in America, well, a lot of people in America at one point got like gold fever.
Yeah.
And so they were like, gonna go out west and like bring the shovel and like we're gonna find a field that's gonna be filled with gold, and like, you know, it was 1 in a million that actually struck gold, and most people like ended up not making it. But the people who made the most money from the gold rush were the people and the businesses that were set up around to serve and sell to all of the people coming with spades.
Yeah.
And I was talking about you, and I was like, you know, this guy Jed, he's an incredibly talented videographer. It's where he's cut his teeth. He's worked with some amazing clients around the world, and he's an amazing TikToker in his own right. But he's doing the smart thing where he's now educating other people and basically serving people who want to get into this gold rush that is happening online in the online space.
One of the dudes downstairs said that to me like a couple months ago, and I was like, kind of like, oh, yeah, I've done all this, but I want to like build an academy to teach people how to do it. And he was like, yeah, like they're looking for gold and you're selling the shovels.
Oh!
And I was like, yeah, so he said that. I was like, that's so fucking relatable. I'm using that as marketing now for the course.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad somebody else got
See
there
that as well, yeah.
Very cool. So, I mean, we're the whole opening gambit's completely ruined because I got your surname wrong, but we'll roll with it for content.
Oh yeah, 100%. Used to this. Let's keep it going.
Always be rolling. I did want to start by asking you about your relationship with hip hop.
Oh yes, a beautiful relationship indeed. Once upon a time, yeah, it's always my party trick now to do a couple windmills on the floor.
You still got the moves?
I do still have the moves. I actually just posted a TikTok a couple of days ago because it was whenever I was in Austria last week with Red Bull. They shut down a whole airport terminal and threw a party in it. There's a big open circle. I saw my opportunity and I seized it.
You're like, the 13-year-old version of me is now going to live his best life.
Dude, literally, and there was Red Bull athlete breakdancers there, and I got to take photos of them, and I was like, my inner child was loving life. And then I got home and I was like, I wonder if there's any breakdance classes in Belfast nowadays. Because I'm just looking at myself as like a video game character, and it's like, how many attributes can I stack?
Exactly.
And like, you know, can I get into hip hop again and just be this like cool educator and content creator, but here also I'm a professional breakdancer.
You need those fun facts, the things that kind of like, they make you pop, whether you're on a podcast or you're out at a party or your network or whatever. You need that something. So how did you get into, I mean, I'm going to sound like an absolute granda, how did you get into hip hop dancing? I'm sure that's not what it's referred to as.
Hip hop. Well, I think the first time I was kind of introduced to it was whenever my stepdad, I got an iPod for Christmas, and I had £3, and I said I could buy 3 songs. What should I buy? And he said Snoop Dogg, Mobb Deep, and 50 Cent.
Dude.
When I was like 10 years old, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, these songs slap, you know. Nice. And so yeah, I started getting that. My stepdad was actually part of this group called the Belfast City Breakers, which was like the most popular like breakdancing crew back in like the late 80s, early 90s. And so he would like bring me up. They used to still train these like dudes that are like 45 still like spinning on their heads and stuff up in Ardoyne. And yeah, just do some training with them, and then I done like a load of little local competitions. Ardoyne's Got Talent.
Yes, and, man, come on.
Next thing you know, for the next couple of weeks, people are seeing me on the street saying, "Here, can you do a backflip up that wall?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'll do the backflip up the wall for you."
Epic, man. I feel like you were like a razor's edge away from getting into like parkour.
I was in parkour.
Were you? Oh, come on.
Man, I'm telling you, video game character. It was parkour first, and then breakdancing, and then skateboarding. So
nice.
Yeah, people say were you into sports, and I was like, no, I was doing all the other stuff that people weren't paying attention to.
Well, there's this weird crossover where I feel like particularly when you grew up at the time we did.
Yeah.
In like the cultural moment with how like tech was really becoming widely available. If you were into breakdancing and skateboarding, it was pretty much impossible that you weren't going to be the guy with the video camera trying to make those sweet videos.
That's exactly what happened. And I think, like, looking back into it, I've always been a filmmaker. You know, out with my friends making montage clips with the skateboarding tricks that they were so much better than me, so I would just, film it instead. But absolutely,
that's cool. Yeah, I kind of had was operating in a parallel universe to you, where I was making Call of Duty montages, and that's how I got.
I did that too. That's why I started getting good at editing with After Effects and rendering stuff.
Bro, I used to love watching Zer Grizz montage videos, and do you ever remember the Matrix montage?
Yes. Oh my god.
Bro, that made me download legally Sony Vegas and learn how to use all that stuff
on my single core laptop that took about 10 hours to render one frame.
100%. Any sort of podcast editing chops, because I'm not a video guy, I'm audio only. Yeah. But it was all exclusively learned through Call of Duty montages and RuneScape videos and all this sort of stuff.
GTA 5 came out when I was 14, 15, started making GTA 5 videos, and then I put some bad hashtags in the video and they all got removed and they're all gone now, so it's unfortunate. Trying to appease the algorithm at the time, 100%. As a 14-year-old does.
Yeah. So you were on YouTube then, really, from the good old days?
The good old days, oh yeah.
Wow. When the trending page had 10 videos on it.
Yeah, and it was just all based on how many likes you got on a video.
Yeah, and it was PewDiePie and Charlie is so cool and that was about it.
Yeah, grew up on that stuff.
Nigga Higga, all those boys.
Yeah. Oh, throwback.
Come on, Smosh was dominating.
That's where the creativity came in,
Yeah.
100%.
So, when was the first time you got paid to make a video? Or
paid to make a video?
You made a video that generated some sort of revenue.
I'm trying to think back to it. Well, I suppose I made a couple pennies off my GTA videos.
Yeah.
So that's probably the first time. But I had a promising career in GTA videos, funny moment videos, but unfortunately my mum thought that I was slowing down the laptop with all the footage, so decided to remove them all.
She wasn't wrong. That and LimeWire.
Oh my god. Yeah.
This just turned into a 90s nostalgic episode.
Yeah. Well, that was probably the first time I had any kind of inclination you can make money from video, but through all of that I was always kind of a wee bit of a hustler, trying to make money in school, selling sweets and then flipping stuff on eBay, all that other good stuff. But the first time, I don't know, now that I think about it, there's no moment I'm oh yeah, I've made money making videos.
Yeah.
But actually, no, the first time I ever made money using my camera was I used to do a club. There's a club here, it's called Culture Club, shout out. And I was getting paid £20 a night to come down and take photos, and I would always walk into town and walk home all the way back up to North Belfast, because if I got a taxi I'd make no money.
Yeah, that's it. You just burn through your earnings.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the first time I kind of made money as a creative.
Nice. Mm-hmm. So where do you go from there?
From there,
do you know what? Let's do a super speed moment here, a fast track.
Okay.
What are you doing now?
I'm creating content for brands, and I educate other brands on how to grow on TikTok. Mm-hmm. Essentially, so scaling their business through organic video.
And what gives you the right to do that? Tell us about your TikTok hero's journeys.
I focus less. A lot of people will focus on hacks on the algorithm and stuff like that, but I focus on creating great content. And I did that for the last 4 years, from being at Outside In. That's one of those companies that's been bootstrapped and did a lot of organic video content. So it was I was making TikToks before TikTok was TikTok. And so I just focused on community building, getting people to buy into the brand, more long-term high-value customers rather than just trying to get quick money straight away. We just focused on building relationships through organic video content, and it naturally just transferred over to TikTok. And so been 4 or 5 years now of doing this here sort of stuff.
That's awesome. I really love, and I remember the last time we spoke you mentioned this to me, and it literally gave me such a great morsel for me to chew on for the weeks to come. The difference between strategy and principles versus hacks and tactics.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, well, it's all about playing a long-term game, isn't it? sure, I experienced this firsthand with like going viral, and I gained tons of followers, but it freaked me out. Didn't really know what kind of direction to take it. Didn't have an offering. Didn't really know what I was doing, and that's when I realized like it's important to have an offering and actually have a long-term strategy in place rather than just chasing quick wins all the time, because it's unsustainable and it'll burn you out. But if you have a long-term game plan in terms of I have this offer and I'm going to build content around it, then it just pays off more in the long run. But with the strategies and other sort of stuff, it just comes from actually being in the trenches and doing it for so many years. So that way, and because the way I try to promote myself is like, yeah, there's been loads of people that have blown up on TikTok, and there's been people that making content that does really well, but a lot of those people only really do it within one niche, and then they directly try to tell other brands and people how to do it based on their personal experience. But it doesn't apply to an e-commerce store, it doesn't apply to a personal brand, it doesn't apply to a lifestyle brand. Like there's so many different ways you can go
can't
about
take
it.
your GTA funny clipper, you can't really take his expertise and apply it to like how to get more people to come to your shopping centre.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
So that's a lot what I learned, because I did a lot of different experimenting with TikTok. Grew an e-commerce store, marketed that for his video, did 4.5 million views, and it's funny because it's so simple but so calculated.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I educate now in terms of like how to optimize your content for virality. And then there's the personal brand that I built that, all the work I've ever got has literally been inbound. I've never reached out to a client.
Yeah.
Well, the all time, but 95% of the work comes in from people finding me on TikTok. So that's going to be one of the academies I'm actually creating at the minute. It's going to be called the 916 Collective, where I basically teach creators how to do just that, essentially, quit their job thanks to TikTok. So that sort of stuff. But then there's also like the creative aspect of that, in terms of creating high value, high impact content tons of people are going to see and buy into. And then I've used those things to create like merch and then sell merch through that. Like I had a ghost photo shoot I did that went viral, and then I used that as an opportunity to market phone cases that had the ghost photos on it.
Nice.
So done like tons of different experimenting with how to actually make money through TikTok, and now I want to educate people, creators and businesses, creators on how to monetize their personal brand, and then businesses how to grow through it. So that's kind of the main points.
It's cool.
Tangent.
I like what you do because you're kind of constantly putting yourself on the line, and what I mean by that is like, because you are putting yourself out there as an authority in this area, you have to have the content to back it up.
Exactly.
So your own personal TikTok feed has to be really, really, really strong. Exactly. If you're going to allow other people to buy into your expertise, and if they're going to
100%
really be able to be served by you.
Yeah, and like even another proof or example of how good it will work, like I'm going to start a new account that's going to basically be promoting the academies. So like the 916 Collective is going to be teaching content creators, vertical filmmakers how to monetize their
that's 916
skills. Yeah,
it's the aspect ratio.
Yeah,
it's the portrait.
Yeah.
Okay. I just figured that out.
916 Collective. It sounds cool. I didn't want like a boring media agency name, so I was like 916. That sounds. What's that?
That's awesome. And it's like if you know, you know.
That's exactly that. That's it. If you know,
it's the
you know.
insider's
You're the
club.
first person that's clocked it, so it's like it's nice.
I literally knew that because I was on a Descript that I showed you.
Yeah.
New software. And you toggle a wee button and you can turn it into that aspect ratio. Otherwise, I would not have had a clue. Like.
So I'm going to be creating a new account that's basically just going to be giving tons and tons of free value without trying to sell anything to anybody. But if people land on my profile, they tap the link. Oh, I'd like to learn more about this.
Yeah.
Here, go through this academy, change your life.
Brilliant. So cool. I remember previewing something. I think it was connected to your course, and it was how to prepare yourself for whenever you go viral.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like you said, based on your own experience, where you're getting all this traction and you're totally overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, but then you don't know how to actually like capitalize on your 15 seconds of fame.
And it was so cool because there was people that reached out to me like a year after I first went viral, being like, I've just went viral, what do I do? And I was like, well buddy, let me tell you, I've got something for you. And I was like, okay, all my trauma is going to be helpful.
Yeah, but it's like, I'm a big hero's journey kind of guy. I love Lord of the Rings because it's a great model of that. And it's like you all of a sudden become Gandalf. Do you know what I mean? It's like at such a young age, without the big massive grey beard, because it's such a new space.
Yeah.
Like you are literally an old wise man in this space, which is so cool. And that's what we all need,
Oh, 100%. And I'm glad that even though there was, because that's the thing people don't think about, like see when I first went viral, it rocked me so hard, like for months and months and months, like proper identity crisis, didn't know who I was supposed to be talking to, what I was serving, thought I wanted to be a creative influencer, got that, didn't really know what to do with it, like didn't have an offer, couldn't capitalize on it, like there was so many issues, but it just took those like years of just figuring stuff out to get to this position now, and my head's in a better place for it now.
That's
but
cool. I was going to say, you kind of just alluded to it there, like how do you handle the pressure, because it's what's the nicest way to put it, it's an opportunity rich environment, but the stakes are quite high and the pressure is insane. So obviously we've all been on a bit of a journey with that. Now that you're a little bit further on, what are some of the things that help you manage that?
I think definitely putting systems in place, so the likes of Notion, all that other sort of stuff, keeping stuff organized, because this is what people don't see with social media. The pressure is on, it's so intense, especially like with me. I'm not only just doing social media that attracts clients, I'm also doing tons of content work for clients, educating people, building the academies, so like there's a lot. And I think being patient with yourself has been like being patient with myself was the biggest lesson, because I was just forcing myself to try and constantly have an answer for everything. But I realized, like, if I can just accept the moment, that the way that I feel right now will not be the same, like I will not feel that way in a couple months time, and just be patient with myself until that comes around, then it's a bit more freeing, so that way I'm not putting myself under pressure. It's few things will come, it just takes time. And I think it's a bit more of a up in the air answer, but I think I made a couple posts about it as well, just like the importance of being patient with yourself. Because we never have all the answers. I don't even have a direct answer to like deal with the pressure, because I still struggle with it to this day. But it is just building systems and being patient.
I like the fact that you and I have the opportunity through our content to do a lot of self-reflection. It's really helpful, actually. Like I'll go back through even like some old wee blog posts I've done, or a podcast episode, and you're like, wow, like I actually was able to take the time to really process that and communicate that in a very effective way that will serve me now years later. Because like it's a useful way to kind of signpost and look back. How do you slow your time down? Because so the reason why I am not on TikTok is because I personally could not handle it. Because at the time whenever I was really involved in social media, I didn't have systems in place, I didn't have those protective mechanisms that you have built, and it was just too much for me. Even with these things in place, like, do you find that you kind of have to find a way to, like, I don't know, guard your own attention or slow things down because you are in such a fast-paced environment?
I see.
Or do you just love it? Do you just love the speed?
See, I didn't want to say that. I am the type of person that thrives in controlled chaos. So
yeah, because that's not me, and that's why you're like, I just like have a picture in my head here of like, you're literally the surfer, like out like loving the wave, and I'm like the guy in the trench coat, like on the beach, like with the wee like measure being like, oh, the wind is too strong today.
That's it. Like, it's just that move fast break things, isn't it? Like, I don't know.
I'm like, go slow and plan things.
But there is definitely an element. I think, whereas before I would always chase like that instant gratification, and get the shiny object syndrome, wanting stuff now. Like, I've accepted timelines to myself now. Like, I'm not saying I need to have this done by next month. I'm like, here's what I'm working on. It will probably take 6 months, but I'm okay with that now, because I know the result is going to be great. It's going to be a great product. For example, like the academies. But I don't really slow my time down. I like. Nice. And it's like, it's not a good thing. I don't recommend it. It's just one of those things where you get in the zone. And like, for example, this is a good example. Like, for like the last 4 weeks, but just before the Red Bull thing, was working every day for like 14 hours straight, just because I was so passionate and motivated. Red Bull thing happened. I got home and I was like, oh shit, I am so burnt out without even realizing it. So last week, took things slow. Just I'm grateful I'm in a position now where like the amount of stuff that I do is off my own back. So like, I only had like 2 client shoots I had to do last week, so then the rest of the days I could just kind of take things slow and chill out. Nice. But yeah, there's no real answer to that, because now I feel like I'm back in the ball and just want to get back in the ground. But it's funny because I'm also an advocate for not doing that. But you also have to practice what you preach. It's true. But there's so many things I want to do right now that I'm like, I just gotta do it.
100%. We'll see what happens. I imagine if we sit down and have another conversation, say in 2 years' time, you'll be in a totally different place.
100%.
Because the journey takes you through various stages, and you're just in a very exciting build. And and you gotta take those opportunities.
It's definitely waves. Like, one thing I learned is that like, this is probably actually why last week was fine for me. See, whenever I would burn out, I would get really depressed. But now I've learned, like, when I'm at the highs, I prepare myself for the lows, whereas before I would never prepare myself. So I'd be on a high, crash, and be like, oh fuck, this is terrible. Excuse my language. So now, like, I'm able to prepare myself. So last week I was actually like, oh no, it's okay. It's just a phase. Do you know what I mean? And that's what life is. We just go through tons and tons of phases. So I had a slow phase last week.
What comes up must go down.
Exactly. But if you can prepare yourself for it, it's gonna be so much easier for your brain to accept. Oh, why am I not being so productive now?
Oh, maybe because I'm not partying with Red Bull in Austria.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome. How did you end up in Ormeau Baths? I don't know this.
So, it was actually through Matthew Giddy.
Oh yeah?
Matthew McGiddy, yeah. He told me about it. And I was like, it was back in November, and I got my tonsils removed, like emergency tonsillectomy in October, and I was really, really depressed after the surgery. Whenever I get sick, I get really depressed. And I was depressed for like 6 weeks, and it was bad because I was just off a high. I left my job and was doing so many cool things for the month of September. Got my tonsils removed, and I was bummed. I was like so gone. I was like, nothing matters. I'm actually okay living in these four walls for the rest of my life. I can just play games or something like that. That'll fulfill me. And then I realized, like, I'm really depressed. And then Matthew told me about this place, came in, had a visit like on the first day, the trial day, and she was like, you can, come back for a trial day or something like that. And I was like, no, I want to sign up now. She's like, no,
take my money.
That's right. She's like, no, I recommend come back for the trial day. I'm like, no, let me pay you. I want to be here. And it's definitely been such a great resource just in terms of like getting out of the house. I didn't realize just how bad it was spending so much time in the house. But then also being able to be in a space where you're around like like-minded individuals that are driven and motivated, doing cool things in all these different industries, so much connections, good high-level conversations. Like, it's really refreshing.
The water cooler conversations here are podcast worthy.
They
should just stick a microphone on the water cooler and just be like,
there's an idea.
Let's just live stream this.
That's a good TikTok series. Write that down. Water cooler
it actually would be perfect for
that's
TikTok.
Great.
Wow.
Here, we're just
right. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye.
Right, 50-50. Go
exactly. We get Matthew in on.
You do the audio, I'll do the video.
We'll do a 30-30-30-30 split. One too many 30s there, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, before we go and set up our new business, I've just one more question before we leave these lovely, I'm going to say listeners, but you may also be watchers. Depends if you have us in a tab while you're working, or if you've sat down with a bag of popcorn just to enjoy the special, which if you have, here,
fair play. Cheers
to you. Absolutely. Okay, if you could go back in time to an 18-year-old Ged, how old are you?
I'm 24 now.
24? Oh, it's what? Not that long ago. I just struggled with the quick maths there. I was going to say 7, and I was like, it's definitely not 7 because that's 17, 6 years. Man, 6 years, a lot changes in that time, doesn't it?
I used to get so stressed about the time difference, but then I'm like, there's the growth from 18 to 24 in 6 years, man. And I get worried about being 30, but then I'm like, how long and how much you learn in 6 years? Like, I can't imagine we're all being 30.
Exactly. Well, if you could go back to an 18-year-old Ged and you had a couple of minutes of his time, what sort of things would you say to him?
I think I would say, you're a effing warrior, and you're going to get through all the shit that's going to come your way, and you're going to come out so good for it, and you're going to inspire so many people, and you're going to make so many people feel good about themselves, and you're going to use your experiences to help others. And even though it's going to be a bit shite, it's going to be so worth it in the end. I wouldn't change anything, I wouldn't say anything different, because it's molded me into like such a, to my own heart, lovely person. I love connecting people and using my past experiences to hopefully motivate and drive and make people accept themselves and stuff. So I just say, be patient, and you're a warrior.
Awesome, bro. Well, thank you very much for checking this one out. Really appreciate you. We really especially appreciate if you are the popcorn person, but for everyone else, that's okay. We still moderately embrace you and welcome you here. You're dead on. You're right. But like we said, like Jed's mentioned a couple of times, if you fancy coming in and seeing Ormeau Baths for yourself and getting a trial day, getting a tour, coming and seeing the crack, seeing the space, seeing what's going on. I like this. I feel like there's like emojis going on behind me here. This is good. It's an emoji machine.
What's that?
Here, we should have got you to do some like head spins.
Just on this table.
On the desk. Come see us, come say hello. Contact form is up on the website. You can come check us out if you are a 1-person business or a 20-person business looking for a private office or a single desk or a hot desk. We are here for you. And other than that, Jed is here for you especially.
Personally.
Check out the other episodes we've done as part of this series. You can scroll on this page. We have talked to loads and loads of different people who call Ormeau Baths their business home. Maybe you already are resident here and you just love having a bit of a nosy at what everyone's up to and getting the backstory, so whenever you meet at the water cooler you can go straight in and produce high quality content.
Maybe
for
don't
our
go
podcast.
straight in, because we need to be there first. Get our content.
No, it's going to be running all the time.
All the time.
Live stream.
Mm,
And then we just clip it. We get someone to go and clip it all together. Thank you very much.
Adios.
And we'll see you soon.